Well, hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today, with yet again a little bit of a delay, I bring you the review of this week's chapters of the 7 deadly sins. I say chapters, yes, this week we had a double chapter, which was pretty cool. 171 and 61 and 162, both of which were very awesome chapters. Before I move on, I want to apologize again. I was a little bit sick yesterday, and the day before Tuesday, when the chapters released, was raining a lot, and I got home a little later than I used to, and I wasn't in the mood to record. I was already feeling a bit sick, and I still am a bit sick. It's nothing serious, just allergies, but they were kind of messy yesterday, so I was in really no shape to record, unless you would like me to sneeze every second in the video, which I don't think you guys want to hear that. It's not quite what you're here for, I guess. So once again, I apologize, and since it's a double chapter, I'll make something special in the end of the video, because what happened in the chapters is worth of analysis and predictions for the future, which I love to do. I love to do theories, and I'm going to present you with some at the end of these chapters. So without further ado, let us begin the review of the first chapter, where we see the two members of the Ten Commandments in charge of the labyrinth, Dolor and Goloxinia. I don't remember if we had her name before, or if she had, or if he. It's a he, not a she. I always thought that Goloxinia was a she, but apparently it's a he. It's one of those type situations in manga and animes that you just say it's a trap. You know what I mean. But still, I don't know if we knew his name before this chapter. So that's why I'm calling him Goloxinia, because we already know his name, and so it's on the safer side to call him Goloxinia. And a we see the 7 deadly sins arriving. Diane, Melodies, Elizabeth, Hauser, Guild Thunder arriving, and before that, this cover is very cool, because I mean it's the 7 deadly sins all together in the same cover. It's very good. It's a color cover, so it's even more awesome. It's very cool. It's a nice touch to the beginning of a double chapter. And as I said, the contestants are all together now at the center of the labyrinth, and everyone watches as the 7 deadly sins arrive with Hauser and Guild Thunder and Hendrickson and the other fella back there, which I believe is Guildfrost. I don't know. He just seems to be kind of there. I don't know. Ban sees Elaine again with King, and they are both already just focused on something. King has felt something that shouldn't have been felt, apparently, and Meliodas does as well. And what they sense, in fact, is none other than the two members of the Ten Commandments themselves, Dolor and Goloxinia, just atop the rock, waiting for them to arrive. And they congratulate them for actually reaching the center of the labyrinth. And she mentions Galaxinia, not she. I'm gonna confuse them a lot. Believe me, I'm gonna confuse it a lot, because it's a he, he's a he, not a she. It's a boy. No matter how much I think otherwise, the fact still remains, he's a boy. And the little fellas from the assassins group, they actually ask if they can have some proof about the miracles that they supposedly can make happen to those who win the chapters. And yes, Goloxinia just says, okay, so Dolor, if you please. And Matrona and Diane also get on attention because Dolor is a familiar name to them. And if you remember, Dolor is the god of the giants. And he just does some mumbo jumbo with his hands. And gigantic Gotland emerges, and two giant stone hands ascend to the heavens in a very, very cool image. This page is just priceless, with two of his hands just like this, and the other two just ascending. It's a pretty cool picture. It was really well drawn. I really love scenes like this. One pages like this make it very, very good. And amidst all the confusion with people falling everywhere, some of which still standing their ground, like the seven deadly sins, we see yet another one page image. The two gigantic hands just holding. They seem they're like holding the sky or something. It's pretty cool. And like comparing Dolor and Goloxinia to them, they are just like specks, even though they are demons. And then Goloxinia says she has some house cleaning to do. I was fearing that he would do what he did, but I didn't want to assume he would do that. And just like that, he, I got it. He uses his weapon, which is the Spirit Lance Vasquez. Just like King has his weapon, his Spirit Spear. I don't remember the name of it. That has various forms. So does Galaxini, and this is the first clue to what Galaxini really is. And he uses the ninth form of it, the Death Thorn, which just plows through the labyrinth and kills everyone that's still alive. This was a pretty hardcore scene, if you ask me. Because we just see like three guys in a row getting speared by the thorns. It's like the guys from the Deadpool movie sharing a bullet. I haven't seen the movie yet, but if you've seen the trailer, you've seen that scene. The guy's like just like sharing a bullet and he headshotting with one bullet three guys. It's kind of like that. So, and there's a guy that manages to dodge, but it's poisoned. So, GG, mate. He dies anyway. And then we have just, it's not a full picture page, but it's half a page of just vines crossing with people impaled on them. It's a pretty hardcore scene. I would love to see this in anime. This would be very, very good to see in an anime. But it would be censored in a way, there wouldn't be so much blood. And they probably wouldn't be speared through the head. Maybe through the chest, but not through the head, I guess. So there would be some censoring done there, but it's understandable, of course. And the little guy with the head, the troubadour, he actually senses that everyone in the labyrinth has indeed vanished. Everyone is dead apart from them. And the other little guys from the assassin group are just like, well, okay, you guys are pretty good. Okay, let's fight. They're just ready. And then King breaks forward and just, how are you here? Why are you here? And who are you? Your life should have ended 3,000 years ago. The first fairy king, Gloxinia. I've been calling him Goloxinia, but it's not. It's Gloxinia. My mistake. Sorry. And my God, we have the first fairy king and the god of the giants, the first giant that ever was. We have Goloxinia of repose and Dolor of, I don't know what his commandment is, but he's there and he's the god of giants. And we have the first fairy king. So I'm like, okay, okay, just all right. But we have demons. Right, the Ten Commandments were supposedly original demons, but now we have a demon fairy king and a demon giant. How awesome is that? I actually had a theory, but it was kind of broke to me by now. I thought there might be a version of the seven deadly sins mirrored in the, well, not exactly mirrored, but let's see if I can explain myself correctly. You see how we have now Gloxinia and Dolor. It's a fairy and a giant. In the seven deadly sins, we have King, who's a fairy, and Diana, who's a giant. So my guess is we might have, but now that I think about it, all the other seven deadly, or all the other members of the seven deadly sins are actually human or human-like. Meliodas is a demon, as far as you know. Escanor is a human. Ban is a human, but an immortal human, so he's transcendent. Merlin, it's supposedly a human, but her race is actually unknown as of now, so there might be some secrets to her. And then we have, who else we have? Goater, who is a doll, but was previously one of the Ten Commandments. So that theory of mine kind of just fell through all the bottoms of the barrel. And now we go to the second chapter of this week's, which is the best. It's a chapter that I was waiting for a long time, one that really settles that this current saga is going to be awesome. I'll be honest with you, some of the late chapters have been not a disappointment, but they've left me a keen on this current saga. The first chapters of the labyrinth were a little bit slowish. I was afraid that the labyrinth was going to drag for a long time. That's why the last week's chapter was a morale raiser for me, because that awesome scene with Ban and Meliodas just tearing the wall apart, and these two chapters just set it to me as now things are gonna kick in. Things are gonna go ape crazy from now on, down south, straight down the hell. And that's how it is. After this chapter, after a conversation between King and Gloxidia, he actually says, if you want to know anything, just win the contest and then you can ask anything you want to me. And they just resign to their fate because there's no way to parlay with the demon. Just load if you please. Sorry, androids. And then they are explained by this random large chest hairy darn dude. I don't know who he is. If he has appeared before, please remind me because I do not know him. And then out of nowhere, and finally, Goethe appears, which was a surprise to me. I was not expecting him to appear so soon, but I'm glad he did. It causes some confusion among both the participants and the Ten Commandments, because if you remember from a few chapters ago, we learned that Goethe was actually one of the Ten Commandments in the past. So that's why Dolor and Gloxinia remember that name, because he was, I believe he was the commandment of, Dreyfus, or Dreyfus. The commandment is now used to be Goether's commandment. I don't remember the commandment, but Goethe was in Dreyfus' place, so to say. So my theory is that in order to do what he did, Dreyfus actually took Goether's place, and that's why Goethe became a doll. It's a scrapped out theory. I have to do a bit more research to understand that, to see if it matches up the things. But that's not for now. And distracted as he is, he actually lands on another participant, which was someone we had no idea was there. Who might that be? Yet another one of the seven deadly sins, the lion's sin of pride, Escanor himself. And while Gother just commends him from being there and being like, oh, it's been forever, he's like, oh my god, the glasses Merlin gave me. Poor fella, he's really helpless in this state. Even Elizabeth is like, is that is that Sir Escanor? And Meliodas is like, oh yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, for a guy like that, I know it's hard to believe, and he's just crying because of the glasses. And my God, yet Gloxinia just keeps on. She just loves to pierce people. She pierces Escanor right through the chest, and I was like, what? I mean, really? Is Escanor dead? And then the second page, of course not. He's not dead. How could he? She uses the seventh form of her spirit lance Vasquez, which is the drop of life, and Escanor is reborn. I gotta be honest, these 3 pages didn't actually made any sense to me because, of course, she was just showing off her abilities and she was showing off what he can actually do. But why use it on an enemy? He could have waited until one of his friends in battle, which we know they have 5 members from their side competing. They have the 3 demons and both their dolls. He could have waited to use that on one of them and then surprising everyone that way. But I guess that since the battles will be 2 on 2 and they'll be separated, there wouldn't be much crowd to assist to that rebirth. So that's why he used it right now. It was kinda not unnecessary, but sudden and not really well put. Let's say it like that. At least in my opinion. So Escanor is not dead. It's what we get from that. Escanor could not be dead yet. And finally, we get to the heart of the chapter, which is the selection into the various teams. The Lord just raises them up in rocks, and whichever pair appears on the rock, it's the pair for the battle. No chances of bargaining, nothing. And so we have the selection of the teams. First team, the Dragon Sheen of Wrath Meliodas and the Fox Sheen of Greed Ban. And my god, am I happy to see these two together. They're gonna kick face. They're gonna wreak havoc. Anyone that's gonna against them is gonna lose for sure. And while I'm saying these teams, no, I'll say the teams before and then I'll move on to the other part. As for the second team, we have the former captain of the Holy Knights, Hendrickson, and the crybaby, Griamore. Again, yes, Griamore was there, so it's kind of sense that he's one of the participants, but as Hendrickson said, he's just a child, and but the other option is leaving him out of the competition, and then Lokshinia would have killed him. So there really is no point in not having him compete. And then for the third team, we have the Grizzly Sheen of Sloth and the Serpent Sheen of Envy. No, we have the Grizzly Sheen of Sloth King and the Serpent Sheen of Envy Dian. It's a match made in heaven, no matter how we look at it. And our lovely couple is joined together in battle. I believe that Diane will have sort of a memory comeback during this battle, and she will remember who she is and what she lives with the seven deadly sins. It's gonna be one of those flashes that come and go like that. For the fourth team, we have the 2 members of the Marakia assassination squad, Tora, and Gigno. As for the fifth team, we have the other member of the Marikia assassin squad, Estaro, and the sacrilegious monk, Harbaz. This is going to be an interesting team because it's the first team to have no relation between the members. The first team, they are members of the first and third team, they're members of the Seven Deadly Sins. The second team, Hendrickson is protecting Grimoire. The fourth team, they are both members of the assassination squad. But the fifth team, they have no relation between one another. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they will actually cooperate in a team and how they're gonna do in battle. The next team, team number 6, we have the new King Harter and the foreign swordsman Nanashi. Again, a team with no relation among themselves. Team number 7, the Platinum Holy Knight Hauser and the Troubadour Solatido. Italiano. Sorry, that was kind of racist. I mean, no offense towards Italians. I love Italy. I hope I'll go there one day. So just don't take it personally. Team number 8, we have the Dawn's Roar Slayer and the Gladiator Hyphen. And there seems to be some chemistry going on between them. Love's brewing in the dead torment of the Ten Commandments. Who says demons only do bad things, eh? Bringing people together since 1999. Team number 9. Moving on, we have the Diamond Holy Knight Gil Thunder and the Magician Gil Frost. Now, I don't know about you, but both of them being called Gil something, I'm sensing some family relationship here. I'm not saying they're brothers, they probably are, but I'm sensing some kind of family bonding here. Because Gil Frost, Gil Thunder, come on, it's too obvious not to be true. Moving on, team number 10. This one's hilarious. We have the Scrap Disposal Knights Captain Hawk and the Lion's Shin of Pride Escanor. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but it is nighttime. Escanor can't really do much in nighttime now, can he? And Hawk, well, Hawk is Hawk. He's a pig. Team 11, we have the Goatskin of Lost Gother and the Holy Knight's Apprentice Jericho. Again, they have some history together, but not that much. They know each other, that's enough. And it's going to be an interesting team. I'm actually hoping to see this team fight. Team number 12, we have the Hertzfang Matrona and the Black Hound Oslo. So Oslo King's dog actually ended up with Matrona. I don't know how much he can do, but I guess he can't do much. He's a dog. No offense. I mean, there's plenty of dogs in anime and manga that are strong. Just look at Naruto. There's plenty of dogs there. So, who knows? Maybe the dog has something up his sleeve that will actually help Matrona. That would be pretty interesting to see. And now we have the final contender who's actually alone. But that's not a problem for the commandments because they already found him a partner. One of the blue demons, Quazo, teams up with the Holy Knight, Silver. And now that we're at it, Team 14, it's the remaining blue demons. Dolzo and Calzo also enter the fray as the 14th team. And now, the 15th team is actually made by the Ten Commandments themselves. Hurt Doll, Dolor Golem, and Flower Doll Lokshini Servant. But hey, didn't I forget about someone? I did not, because this chapter ends with some will say the weakest, and don't get me wrong, I agree to some extent, but also the most surprising team and the one that I'm most eager to see fight. We have the Princess and the Guardian Saint, Elizabeth and Elaine. That's it, the female ladies of our of the first team, the 16th team, Elizabeth and Elaine, and they seem to be fighting against Team 4. And the next chapter will apparently be based on them because the title of the next chapter is The Princess and the Guardian Saint. So these were the two chapters this week. As I said, chapter 162 was for me the best of the latest chapters. This theme setting is gonna shape up really good. There's everything I thought there would be. There's new characters. There's gonna be fighting. There's going to be story development, which I love. We'll probably know a lot more about Elizabeth's powers, Elizabeth's past, probably Elaine's powers. We haven't really seen much of Elaine's abilities so far. I mean, we know she was guarding the Fountain of Youth back at the Fairy King Forest, but what else? I mean, she's the younger sister of King. She might have something up her sleeve. And Elizabeth, I'm sincerely hoping, and I really am, that she gets an upgrade, a power up. She doesn't need to get massively OP or strong, but she has to do something. I want her to break the chain of the lowly lady that always gets rescued by anyone. She has the potential to do something. She's a descendant of the druid's race. She has something up her sleeve, and I want this to be the saga where she shows that. So I'm not saying it's gonna be just instantaneous. I'm not saying that she's gonna one shot the guys from the Marquis Assassins group, but I want them to win. I want that this battle, Team 4 versus Team 16, I want this battle to be a win for Elizabeth and Elaine because they deserve it. Both of them deserve it. It's gonna cost them. They're gonna suffer a lot, I hope, but they're gonna win. They'll come out on top, and that's what I want. Now, as for the other teams, what I think is Meliodas and Ban will fight against the dolls because that seems to be the strongest team as of now. That and the Gil Thunder and Gil Frost team. Either one of those will be Ban and Meliodas' opponents. As for Team 2, as Hendrickson and Griamore, I'm actually not sure, but it would be cool to see them against, I don't know, maybe Slayer and Hyphen? Maybe against Slayer and Hyphen. Maybe that would be a good pair up. Because Slayer has some connections with Hendrickson, but the other guy doesn't. So it might end up as Slater and Graham are actually stepping out of the fight and just a fight between Hendrickson and Hyphen. This might work for any of the other teams that have someone with a connection to Hendrickson. As for Harter and I'm skipping ahead the teams, but I'll remember them as I go. As for Nanashi and Harter, I don't know. Maybe who's left? Maybe against the Blue Demons. I guess it's a pretty generic team, so and Harter is not really a badass character on anything. Nanashi seems strong, but I don't think he's gonna be. I think he's the one that's going to carry the team because I think he can one-shot those Blue Demons. So I guess it's not going to be a battle that gets much attention. As for the Sacrilegious Monk and Hestano, the other guy from the Meraki Assassin Squad, I don't know. Maybe against Gother and Jericho. That would be cool. And who do we have left? Hmm. So Elizabeth and Lena are already done. They are against Team 4, so that's a battle done. The dolls, I believe they will face off against Meliodas and Ban. That's what I'm hoping at least. Now we have team number 13, which I guess they can be paired against who's left. Sorry, this is being a little bit slow, but well, the only one that's left. Oh no, we have. Okay, so but that would be too close in numbers. But I guess that doesn't matter, is my opinion. But maybe it's the Holy Knight Silver and the Blue Demon against Matrona and Oslo, and then Hog and Escanor against either the Dolls or the Gil team. Because whichever gets Meliodas and Ban, the other will go to Hawk and Escanor. That's my guess. I'm just it's pretty random guesses, some of them, but that's what theories are about, guessing random things. But I just hope that this chapter marks the beginning of some awesome stuff. I believe that we might have material for, I would say, 15 chapters, at least. Because some of these fights will be pretty generic, but some of them have the potential to be something more than that, and thus lasting for 2, maybe 3 chapters. The one where Diana and King will fight definitely has the potential to be a long fight. Elaine and Elizabeth as well. Ban and Meliodas doesn't, but not because they're generic characters, on the contrary, but because they are OP as balls and they just gonna one shot anyone that they threw at them. That's why I believe they will go against the dolls first, because then they can just one shot them and show how strong they are. Gunther and Jericho, they their fight can be a longer one because of Gunther, really. Just because of him, of his past as a Ten Commandment. Hawk and Escanor, it will only last as long as the night lasts. Because there's no point in having a fight where Escanor can't actually fight. And Hawk, I don't know. I want to believe that there's something more to Hawk than that. But I mean, there's been 160 something chapters, and Hawk is still just that, a talking pig with an earring that can measure magical powers on other people. And to me, that's not really that useful. So, unless there's something going on with him, some sort of hacky transformation, I don't know. I really don't see Hawk do. So, yeah, another intermission. My mic wasn't connected, so I just been speaking for more or less half an hour, but luckily the PC recorded my voice. So I hope that the sound was good and that you understand everything I said, because I spoke for a half an hour without this thing being connected. So I was kind of worried, and that's why there's a sudden cut on the video. Again, another cut on the video that I did not plan for. I'm sorry, they are bound to happen, and I'm still a noob in this sort of thing, so sorry. But yes, anyway, I just wanted to record this ending really quick because it was sort of cut off. I was already in the end. There wasn't much more to say. I've said everything I had about the teams, about the possible matches, I think. And yes, I'm just here in the next day. As you can see, it's a little bit brighter, and I'm wearing a different shirt. So yes, it's the next day, and I'm just recording this just to finish the video instead of doing another still image with a text popping up. You have me speaking, and two more things that I want to say now that I have a chance. Possibly when this video is going out, I already have a Twitter account for the channel. Yes, it's an idea I had. I'm going to do it. If you guys want to follow me there, feel free to do so. It's a better way for me to interact with you guys. I know I could go Facebook. I really don't like Facebook page mechanics. I was on a page before. I still am, and that is kinda slow. I like Twitter better. For this kind of things, Twitter is a bit better, and it helps me reach more people, a wider range of people, I guess, at least. So that's new number one. I'll Mad Manga Reviews Twitter live like on now, probably, I guess, I hope, most likely. The link will be in the description. If I can, I'll put a note somewhere in the video. Second warning. If you guys follow Assassination Classroom, there was a new chapter released today. And my god, I cry every time. The chapter was really, really good. It was tear-dropping. And it came with a sudden revelation and a sudden announcement that took me by surprise. Assassination Classroom only has 4 more chapters to go. So that makes 177, 178, 179, and 180. Assassination Classroom is 4 chapters from being over. And my god, what an emotional ending it will be. I originally planned to review Assassination Classroom on my channel, but never did I predict that the manga was so close to end. I knew the ending was close, but my god, not that close. So I don't really think it's a good idea to just do 4 chapters just like that. I can do it if you guys want, that's no problem by me. Just expect lots of crying in the next chapters to come. But my idea was when those 4 chapters come, when the manga gets to an end, I was thinking maybe doing a mega video, a bigger video about half an hour, 45 minutes or so, and just say everything there is to say about Assassination Classroom. Not reviewing the manga from chapter 1 to chapter 180, but saying my opinions on the overall story, on the characters, on the ending, what I thought was cool, what I thought was not cool. So I can still do that and do the 4 chapter reviews, or I can just do one or the other. You guys decide. You let me know in the comment section. And I've said enough. This video is about the 7 deadly sins and not about Assassination Classroom. So, anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed the commentary, the video, and once again, sorry for the intermission. As always, use the comment section to give your opinion on the chapter, on the battles to come, on the characters. What do you think the characters will be like? Will they be strong? Will they be average? Or will they be weak? And they are just show-offs. Who knows? You guys might think that. And give your opinions on my overall performance and the quality of the video. As I always said, and we'll say all the videos, the comment section is yours to use and abuse. So I say my goodbyes to you, and I'll see you next time.